Tonight on the BigFooty Blues podcast, we discuss tomorrow night's big game against the Tigers. We celebrate the re-signing of a navy blue favourite, and we have a chat about Chris Judd's thoughts on the Essendon supplement scandal. All that and more coming right up. And welcome back for episode 5 of the 2014 BigFooty Blues podcast. Having officially unseated Wookie in a bloodless coup, I'm your host, ODN. As always, we have a fine bunch of posters on our panel. She's the type of girl that any guy would proudly take home to meet their mum. How are you, Mebby?
Hi, guys. I'm good, thank you.
And you'd also take this guy home to meet your mum twice, the second time to apologise and pay restitution. Good evening, happy dude.
Hey everyone, hello Mebby's family.
Shut up, you idiot.
And joining us for the first time after numerous broken promises and broken hearts. Thanks for coming on, Jeremias.
Not a problem. Good evening, everybody.
Good to have you here. So, everyone, the Blues had the week off. Did anybody see anything they liked from the other games on the weekend or anything coming out of Navy Blue headquarters?
I was excited to see Collingwood on the bottom of the ladder.
Yeah, that's probably a high point.
And I would love them to stay there forever.
Mm.
That would make me super happy.
I like the North implosion.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a shame that it came at the expense of Bombers' victory, but...
but that won't matter if they lose all their points anyway. It's win-win.
Exactly. I noticed that the umpiring seems a lot more relaxed, and it seems to have changed a lot since Wayne Campbell took over from the Geesh, and, people aren't happy about, sort of illegal disposal not being paid as much, but it just, being one of the most, being a team that didn't get a lot of free kicks last year anyway, I'm quite happy that they're letting the play go because it might even the playing field for us a little bit.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. If illegal disposal or whatever is our biggest issue with umpiring, then we're having a good year so far. It's only been one game, but if that's our biggest issue, not this, really lopsided free kick count.
I think they're only paying the really obvious free kicks, which makes me happy. They're not paying like all the little 50-50. Yeah, I might as well just pay it. So that's good.
I can't remember a better umpired round ever. We're not there to watch the umpires. They're there to officiate and to take a back seat. They're not the main attraction. And any round that you really see that is a huge plus, I think.
Couldn't agree more. Given Carlton didn't play on the weekend, we're just going to launch straight into a little bit of Carlton news. Carlton's 2013 Best and Fairest winner, Kade Simpson, has re-signed for a further 2 years. The popular vice-captain is now contracted until the end of the 2016 season. As he turns 30 in May, it appears Simpson is destined to be a career one-club player. Speaking at an MCC lunch today, Chris Judd considered how he might have reacted in the position of Essendon's senior players, saying that he hoped he would have declined to participate in the supplements program had he been in their shoes. Meanwhile, in injury news, Judd's return date from injury has been pushed back to at least round 5, with his recovery from surgery for Achilles tendonitis taking longer than expected. Andrew Carazzo is ready to return to football via the VFL, but as the Northern Blues are not playing this week, he will return via the VFL next weekend. Sam Docherty and Dennis Armfield would also be fit to line up for the Northern Blues round 1 game next weekend. And that's it for Carlton News. So does anybody have any comments on the news? There's a few interesting things come up there.
Very happy about Simo's re-signing.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, to be a one-club player. Love the Simo. Very good, very brave. Just gun player. Just glad he's not have any possibility of going anywhere else.
Yeah, that's it. So he's 29. He's turning 30 in May. So he'll be, and it's until the end of 2016. So he's going to be rising 33. And look, I think he's a durable type that could probably go well, start thinking Fletcher Bradley, because he's not showing any signs of slowing down, and he's a smart footballer.
Yeah, definitely.
Clearly my favourite player, and there wasn't really any doubt that he was going to return for mine. I don't think he ever had any intention to leave, but it's always good to have the signature on the paper to make sure.
And wouldn't we love to get another 5 years out of him and get him to 300 games? That'll be...
Yeah, I don't know that that's going to happen. It's a bit optimistic, but it would.
Well, he hasn't missed him.
If anyone deserves it, it is him to get to 300, that's for sure.
Well, he'll be on about 260 odd at the end of this contract. So, another season and a half up.
Yeah.
It could happen.
Could happen.
Don't forget all the grand finals he's going to play in.
Well, that's it. We've got to get him a flag.
Yeah, that's an extra 5 games per year.
Yeah, absolutely. Exactly right. That's how we used to get our players up, by playing finals. That's how we used to have so many 300 game players. But
well, that's what it will happen this year, so you don't stress about it.
Well, now Chris Judd, as we heard in the news just then, Chris Judd's still having a few injury woes, but it's not stopping him from sharing his opinion. That's
he's mouthing off.
Yeah, he didn't injure his jaw, that's for sure.
So he said today that it's in the Herald Sun that he says that he hopes he would have rejected the kind of controversial supplements program administered to Carlton players. He said that he sympathises with the players who were put in a pretty horrendous situation. This was at an MCG football lunch today. But he also said that real heroism is when you are able to stand up and be different to the crowd, when you get that feeling in your stomach that something is not right. I don't know if they all knew what the others were doing, but certainly if you're in your late 20s, I find it hard to believe you wouldn't have thought something was up with that feeling you get in your stomach. So apparently, according to the article, the response drew warm applause from the room, given few players have publicly expressed their true feelings about the program. And he also stated that he thinks ASADA needs a hell of a lot more funding to do what they need to do. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's going to earn him a lot of scorn around the community, or probably a little bit of both. But it's good to hear. We've heard a couple of players here and there just make little remarks about what they think should have been done, but few and far between as far as the players are concerned. And Judd is a leader in AFL circles, so good on him for sharing his opinion.
Yeah, I think it's important. I think it's really important that people start coming out and drawing a line in the sand and saying that it's not okay and it's not acceptable. I hate the idea of this boys' club closing ranks and sort of protecting them. I don't think that the majority of players out there would think that what has happened is okay. And so for a leader like that, I mean, obviously Judd's not captain anymore, but he is still considered to be a very senior leader in football circles. For him to come out and say that it shouldn't have happened, I think is a really important message.
Yeah, definitely it is.
I'm sick of the monotonous garbage we get from most footballers, so to have someone come out and speak their mind is very refreshing and very welcome. You'll probably get reprimanded on some level for it, but good on him, and I would hope that many other footballers follow suit, but I have my doubts.
Yeah, no, definitely they need to, do their best to stamp it out instead of this whole poor players thing.
We have any thoughts on Carlton's injury updates and the fact that 2 weeks ago Judd was supposed to be ahead of schedule, now he's been pushed back further, and even sort of indicating that Carazzo was due back around round 2 for whatever reason. The Northern Blues aren't playing this week, so he's going to return via the VFL next week, and it's going to be more like round 5 or 6 that we see Carazzo and Doherty. Yeah,
well, when Judd was first announced he was having Achilles surgery in January, I thought round 3 was a bit of a stretch for it. It's not like he can run as well, especially when he's recovering from surgery on your ankle. You lose your mobility. It's different to wrist or shoulder surgery where you can keep up your base fitness for a little while. So I wasn't very surprised about that one. I still would be surprised if it's even later than round 5.
I'll never be surprised by Carlton not being completely honest about injury lists.
The 2 to 4 weeks away thing, bit of a joke. But it'd be handy to get Carazzo back out there at his best if he's fit and firing again. Looking forward to that. But we don't want to rush him back in and have him underdone and be exposed, because we all know how the Carlton faithful can jump.
Yeah, all of a sudden it'll be D-list Carazzo.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Noticed that the Carlton website was running a fan poll to see what song we're going to be running out on the ground to for the rest of 2014. Some very interesting choices there. I don't know they gave us a choice of 3 songs, so somebody obviously within the club has chosen the songs, and at the moment, and I assume this is going to be closing very shortly, since it was for what song they're going to play to run out with tomorrow night. Till I Collapse from Eminem is leading the poll. I'm just wondering, did Eddie Betts choose that before he left?
Hey. I'm sure Eddie Betts has delightful taste in music.
Well, I know he's a gangster.
Would have been Mitch. Had to have been Mitch.
Yeah.
He's right into all that.
Yeah.
I have to admit, I don't mind it. I think like a lot of clubs have been doing that for years. Don't think it was last year, maybe the year before. Carlton used Fatboy Slim, Right Here, Right Now.
Mm.
Yeah, we did that. We played that with a little bit of footage, and then we had the guys walk out, and then the Carlton song started. So it's not something new. It's just they're publicising it now. Every team's been doing it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I hadn't heard of it, so I reported on the BigFooty boards, thinking that it maybe was going to replace the Carlton theme song. You guys assured me that that's not the case.
Definitely not.
So if it did, I think we'd hear a lot more about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's not a big deal. Like I said, everyone's been doing it. Just sort of builds up an atmosphere throughout the year, especially later on in the year for close games. When you're at your own home game, say it's at the MCG against another Melbourne-based club, and they start playing the song that you've been coming out to all year before your club song starts. It sort of helps. If they choose the right song, it sort of helps build the atmosphere a bit. But if they choose like the really wrong or a stupid dancey type song, it just doesn't work and it gets really annoying. Like we used Don't Hold Back a couple of years ago as well, and that was just really, really annoying.
I wonder how North Melbourne feels about this.
I remember that game when they set off fireworks before they ran through.
They did last week when they played the Bombers. Before they ran out, they were playing. They were shooting like blue flames out of these like pop things on the ground.
Yeah, they did against us for
the Bombers
20 years.
And the cheer squad wears like what looks like painters' overalls.
Yeah.
So I don't really get them.
To be fair, the Bombers can't be the only team left shooting things.
Ooh.
Oh,
wow, that's a smack on his debut.
Yeah.
But I had to come in with something hard.
Sorry, I should have said talking smack, not doing smack. Just listening to
if there's any, cheap, sell their soul, gimmicky club currently in the AFL, it's North Melbourne. They need to do anything to make $1.
Well, he's smacks around now. Jeez. All right. Look, with no further ado, tomorrow night, Carlton are playing Richmond at the MCG. Last time we met, does anybody remember what happened? Carlton defeated Richmond by 20 points in the elimination final last year. Carlton has won 11 of the last 12 games between the two teams. Both teams are coming off a round 1 loss. For Carlton, in is White and Lucas. Out, McInnes and Walker, who's been suspended. And for Richmond, in the push-up King and Grimes. And out is Rance and McDonough. Very interesting ins and outs there. Anybody given any thought to this game and how it's going to go down? Who wants to go first?
I'm really scared. Like I'm normally so positive. You guys know that. Like I normally just, I think we'll win every single game on the planet. But for some reason, I just have a really bad feeling again about this game. I'm excited to see White come back because it's his first senior game since he busted his neck last year. So I'm excited for that. And it is Jeffrey Garlett's 100th senior game. So that's exciting too. But I don't know. I feel like it's going to rain. We're missing quite a few players who were in the elimination final and boffed it for us last year. Obviously, Dygan's not playing for us. And there's that little guy called Eddie Betts who's gone to another team. So they're gone to shut up. Judd's not playing, which makes me sad. Carazzo's not playing. So I don't think we're going to win.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, controversial.
I thought we were going to win all the games and kick all the goals, and
that's what I thought
very
too.
fast.
That's what I thought too. But then, like, after seeing us play last week, and the more I think about it, because I watched the elimination final replay again, and seeing that game compared to the game we played against Port, like, it's just, oh my God, they're just worlds apart.
Interesting to note, in that final last year, we kicked 18-8. How un-Carlton-like is that?
Yeah, see, that's so out of left field.
18-8 to 14-12, so we had the same amount of scoring shots, but not the same amount of 50-metre penalties.
That's true.
Yeah. But I was trying to find the stat, just that's why I didn't want to go first, but I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't be well doing the research myself about the turnarounds that we have against them recently, where they hit the lead and they get like 20, 30 points up, and then we come back to win by 20, and it seems the last few times we played them, turnaround's been around 50 points throughout a game. It's quite a huge turnaround.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling too confident about this one, but I think the Port Adelaide game's done that to me. In all honesty, after getting that awesome elimination final against them, they have to win one sooner or later. It wouldn't hurt me the most if they did win it, but I do want to win because to obviously get the 4 points, and we need to kickstart our season. It's always great beating Richmond. I reckon Carlton win by about 11 goals.
What? Really?
Yeah, why not?
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Oh, wouldn't it? Jeremias, what are your thoughts?
Just a shout out to Jeffrey Garlett, who will become the first player to play 100 games in the number 38 for the Blues.
Oh, well done.
That's a wonderful achievement off the rookie list. He's developed into a terrific player for us, really. Very, very dangerous round goals. Didn't get to... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, gets his name on the locker for that, doesn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely does. And very well deserved. Been up there in our leading goal kickers over the past 3 to 4 years. Very dangerous footballer. Went on song, was below par last week. So we need a big game from him, alongside, hopefully, Menzel. This game, gee. Heart says Carlton, head says probably Richmond. But then again, we do have the wood over them in a big way, and at some point that has to be, it has to come down to the psychological effect. So, look, I don't know. I would say, I think Richmond will probably win, unfortunately, but I've been surprised by that result before in these sorts of games, and I hope to be surprised again. Wouldn't it be lovely to even the ledger 1-1 against Richmond once again?
It would, definitely would. I'm looking forward to Jamison on Riewoldt again. Riewald's only kicked 3 goals in his last 4 games versus Carlton. Jamison completely owns him of late. I find it interesting that Rance has been omitted. I think he's a fairly decent defender. He does have some brain fades, but he's athletic, and he can usually keep up with weight and do a lot of covering back there. So they've named Asprey on weight, and if that's the case, then Waite's going to have a day out. And I assume Chaplin will be on Henderson. So I'm a little bit buoyed. I was a bit concerned about our outs, but I'm a little bit buoyed by the makeup of their side. Rance he's not even in their emergency, so he's definitely out. Concerned about Vickery, who, while I don't generally rate him as a footballer, he's kicked 8 goals in his last 3 games versus Carlton. He seems to really like playing us, and that's again, it's all going to be dependent on is White going to play tall on him? Is Watson going to hold him? Or is Henderson going to be forced to come back? So it really depends on how well we can hold him early. I do note that Sam Rowe is in our emergencies, so there's potential for maybe a late change with him to come in and play on Vickery, and he'd be better suited than a lot of the players we have in there.
I think if Rowe does come in, it will be at the expense of a tall. I can't for the life of me see him coming in for a smaller player. It just looks way too tall for me.
Yeah.
Even if Richmond do go in with the 3 tall forwards, I think that sacrifices a lot of run on our part. And
it's going to rain.
Very dangerous game to play, particularly in the wet if it does happen as expected.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why Rance was dropped. Maybe Richmond have sort of learnt from Carlton having a lot of speed late in games against them, and they're going to try to take a leap out of our book and run us off our feet. Found it interesting that Buckley was left out of the VFL side last week. We thought he'd probably come in for Walker. He's in the emergencies, and out of left field, Lucas has come into the side. There's been a little bit of criticism on the boards about it, but I think it's a good move. The one place that Richmond beat us in is in uncontested possessions. So they run and spread across the ground, basically just running around us while we do all the hard work inside. Lucas is exactly the sort of player that we need to sort of to combat that. I'd love to see Lucas tackle Greg again and just stand on Greg and take him on. It's good to see him back in the side, because I think if he has sustained game time and gets his confidence up, he's still got a fairly bright future with us.
Yeah, I have a lot of time for Kane Lucas, not just because he's a babe. I think he's got, people are a lot harder on him than they are on other players who have the same output or same results. I don't know why, but he's a bit of a whipping boy, so I hope he comes out tomorrow night and just makes everybody eat their words. That's my favourite, when players do that.
There aren't too many in our side that run and spread as well as Kane Lucas does. He does have his deficiencies, but for mine, that run and spread is a huge, huge plus. I would probably say he'll start as the substitute, unless Buckley does come in as a late change for someone. So that run and carry and spread, particularly late in the game, if he's subbed on for a taller player, I think will be invaluable, particularly if the game is close.
All right. If we are to win it, whereabouts are we going to win it?
On the scoreboard.
I knew one of us was going to say it.
That's the line I always spin. You can be behind in every stat, but if you're up on the scoreboard, it doesn't matter. A lot of people usually point to leading possession count as a show of whether or not we're being dominated in a game. I think that's a load of crap. Richmond's one of those teams that tend to really overuse the ball. They did it all last year, and they started trying to do it again against the Gold Coast. They're not direct enough with it coming out of the back line. They get to the midfield and just hand pass all the time. Put pressure on them. They screw up. You score a goal on the turnover. Works every time.
Yeah, they basically smacked Gold Coast in just about all the stats last week in round one, and it didn't have anything to show for it. And I'm wondering if that sort of game plan is what's hampered Riewoldt of late. Maybe he would appreciate something a bit more direct. But
I think Riewoldt's taken his media ban too seriously, to the point where now he's not touching the ball when he's on TV.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Boom, tish.
Two key areas for mine in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Firstly, it's a cliche, but the game is won and lost in the middle. Got to get your hands to the ball first, and that extends from our ruckman through our on-ball division. And the rucks have to get on top early. It would be very, very interesting to see how they go against Hampson, in particular Cruiser, who, look, I love him to the world and back, to the moon and back, I should say, but he's got to pull his finger out. There's something not quite right with him at the moment, and he's got to address it, whether it be out on the field or on the sidelines. Got to win the midfield battle, otherwise we're starting a long way behind. And the other thing is, you watch our last 10 or so games against Richmond, there's one key theme: the pressure in the forward line, and they buckle. Their defenders do not cope well with pressure from our forwards, and you'll see time and time again that turnovers are caused as a direct result of that. We have lost Eddie, of course. Don't hit me, maybe. But we need guys like Jeffy in his 100th, Ellard, who can spend time up there, Menzel, of course, and possibly even Lucas, who wasn't bad in a few games as a deep forward, to really put that pressure on, as well as Waite, who does love a tackle. And if we can force them to turn the ball over a number of times, it'll go a long way to us getting in front on the scoreboard when it counts.
Very good. You made a good point about us up against Hampson. You'd think there'd be a few maybe scores to settle. Hampson's going to be anxious to prove that he wasn't really the number 3 ruck at Carlton, and the other two probably anxious to prove that Carlton made the right decision. So that's just a little bit of added spice. How many shots of Megan Gale with a Richmond scarf around her neck are we going to see in the crowds? That'll be interesting.
None, because I'll be at the game.
Who else?
Beautifully done.
Everybody else going?
Swing and a miss.
Everybody else?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Yes, I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll be there.
I wouldn't miss it for anything. This is my real round 1.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. NAB Cup's over now. Time to start round 1.
Don't get me started on the round 1 fixturing. I have a huge bone to pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't go there. That was a shocker. Whoever it was responsible for fixturing should honestly probably lose their job.
Well, there you have it.
There you go.
No, I've even taken Friday off, so if we win, I can celebrate and enjoy life, and if we lose, I can cry myself to sleep and not worry about having to go to work with a puffy face.
Oh.
so yay!
So, just happy dude. I hope you don't have to go to work with a puffy face too, mate.
No, I've got Friday off.
Okay, all right.
So I've got till Saturday to recover from puffy face syndrome.
Right.
'Cause you're hot and you're cold, you're yes then you're no, you're in then you're out, you're up then you're down, you're wrong when it's right, it's black and it's white, we fight, we break up, we kiss, we make up.
Okay, it's that time of the week again when we have a look at who's on fire and who's under the pump. And first up doing on fire is Mev. What do you got for us?
It's me. I've got one of everybody's favourite Carlton players, Cade Simpson, re-signed. Super exciting. So we just wanted to sort of highlight him. Everybody knows Cade's story. He was our beacon of hope, drafted in 2002 after we got absolutely smashed by the AFL. Didn't really make an impact, didn't have any disposals in his first 3 games. Finally broke into the senior team in 2005, became an integral part of our leadership group, and now, along with Carazzo, is easily one of the most passionate players to run around in the navy blue. Got through 158 consecutive games until some jerk came along and forced him out from injury. I think last year he was absolutely amazing. He won the John Nichols medal. Things are just getting better and better for our spiritual leader. He's so vocal, he's passionate, he's one of the most courageous players in the league, and I could not be happier that he signed on until the end of 2016.
Yeah, go the beard.
Yeah, he's everybody's favourite bearded man.
Well said. Now, obviously, as Carlton didn't play last week, we're sort of scratching around to find somebody that's under the pump, but there's always somebody. If nobody else has anything better, I'll go. Look, as much as we hate to hear it, and we've been talking about it a little bit lately, but Bryce Gibbs is still under the pump because, if anything, Simo signing up puts even more pressure on Gibbs. He's I think we've probably got Jamison and Gibbs as the main free agents still to sign, and I guess Greg Swan came out on SEN today and conceded that it was probably driven by Gibbs' manager, the bit about Gibbs wanting to see what direction our list takes before he puts pen to paper. So it just ups the ante a little bit. It just creates that little bit of doubt. There's a lot of people around the club saying, no, he's going to stay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. But, we've seen it over the last couple of years. It ain't over until that signature's on that contract. So yeah, it's just a little bit more pressure, and hopefully Gibbsy can work it out very quickly, so we don't have to talk about it for the rest of the year.
It's a worry. It's like, I thought honestly that we wouldn't have an issue and that Gibbs would just sign up straight away, like Walker did, like Simpson did, like Murphy did. What's the hold up? I understand he wants to see what direction the club is going to head in, but it's not going to head in the right direction if he leaves. So just friggin' sign. I don't understand what the issue is. If it's not for money, which people are saying, oh, the last thing you would leave for is money, then what is the issue?
Of course,
Yep.
it's money.
Power.
Oh my god.
World domination.
Yeah. Who knows what he's planning? What are we doing tonight, Brain?
Whose brain then?
Apparently not Robbo.
Oh, dearie
yeah.
me.
No.
Cool.
Okay, very well done. Okay, once again, it's time to take a walk on the boards to see what people are talking about.
What are words for? When no one listens anymore. Words for? When no one listens. What are words for? When no one listens, there's no use talking at all.
First up, I just want to remind people that you can still vote for the poster of the month for March. We've got 3 nominees for this month. We have pronunciation Etzel1. Is that how you pronounce it, Happy Dude?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
Oh, yeah. you read these things, but you don't actually pronounce them. So you
No.
2012 Poster of the Year Haka, and our very own Mebby.
Oh my
So,
god.
she's
See?
embarrassed. She's blushing. I can feel
Who
her
nominated
blushing
her?
from here.
How do you
Her-
know
her
I'm blushing?
dad.
You are, aren't you? You're blushing.
Yeah, I am actually.
No, I thought you nominated her.
Maybe his dad.
Who didn't
spoke to
nominate
your
her?
daughter.
I don't know, but
What a
whoever
mistake
it
that
is has a
was.
lot to answer for.
There was
No,
a few. There was a few.
Who initially did it?
I'm upset I'm not nominated.
I think everyone should vote for Etzel1. I think she's a superstar.
Yeah, well, look, I'll tell you what, the females are taking over the boards.
As they should.
guys,
As they're taking over the world.
Guys, lift your game.
For that reason, I'm voting for Haka.
You bitch. I'll get my dad on too, Happy Dude.
please, Mr. Meb's dad, because I know you're listening.
Stop it.
This poll will close on sometime in the evening, the 31st of March. So get in there and vote for your favourite. Each winner will be. We've started late, so it'll be 10 monthly winners. And at the end of the year, the esteemed moderator panel, and including Jeremias, will vote in rising star fashion for the poster of the year. And whoever wins, if you don't get up this month, you are eligible for other months. Don't worry. It's not all over. No puffy face. Just go on and do your best next month.
I was raised with the motto that second is the first of the losers.
Yeah. Well, isn't any Carlton supporter?
Yeah. So I've never forgotten that. So if I lose, that's it for me. I'm done. I'm throwing my toys and I'm out of here. As if. You guys, I can't stay away.
Were there any other threads or posters on the board that been fairly notable in the last week as far as you guys are concerned?
Oh, there's one thread I've been focusing on for the last 20 minutes in the Blue Room, the Ultimate Footy League.
Absolutely.
Isn't that riveting?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Very stiff competition.
We introduced it to the board last year very successfully, particularly for your inaugural winner. Thank you very much.
Who was
kept
that?
the applause to a minimum. Thank you.
Hang on, weren't you running it?
Yes.
I smell conspiracy.
Big.
There's going to be a Royal Commission inquiry into Ultimate Footy League. There you go.
As long as Asada and WADA conduct it, I'm safe for about 10 years.
Wait,
then.
does that make Jeremias James Heard in this situation?
Yeah.
Let's just say yes. It technically makes him Demetriou, but
Let's call him James Heard because that's more fun.
Sure. Whatever you like. And a special hello to Mebby's family this evening.
Stop.
So you are now valued listeners,
Exactly.
and we'd love to have you back next week.
Absolutely. We might even get you on the podcast.
She will never let them hear this.
No, they found it.
Oh, do they listen religiously every week?
No, oh my god.
Yeah,
So,
we have to share the story now.
oh shit, do you want me to tell it now?
Yeah,
Do you want me to tell it? Okay. So, my dad was Googling a fact about Carlton and came across BigFooty.com, thought he'd check it out, saw Mrs. Eddie Betts, thought, that's my daughter's footy tipping name. How random. Clicks on it, finds a link to a podcast, listens to it, and here's his baby girl going, shirts off, party time, thanks to the great editing guys. And sat there and listened to it, and I'm eternally shamed now. So,
And he spread the word to your loving brother.
yeah.
Can I come to your next party?
Absolutely not. So, hi, Papa Homer. It's good to have you listening. I'm so embarrassed. I can't stop blushing because I didn't tell anybody in my life that I do this because they already think I'm a giant football nerd, and now it's just confirmed. So, hi, Dad. Don't ever listen again, please.
Right, that's all the time we have this week. I'd like to thank everybody for coming on. Just before we go, don't forget, if you want to listen to any of our podcasts, you can do so by heading into the podcast thread on BigFooty.
Also the YouTube.
Mr. Meb. Visiting the BigFooty Blues YouTube page, or you can download for free from iTunes. So the whole family's got you covered.
They're especially good in the car on the way to work or on the way to the footy game.
Yeah.
Or even gathering around, the radio at work.
And especially for, when you're on the way to church confession.
Tell your friends.
Good night to our panel, who have all done a great job tonight. Good night, Mebby.
Good night, guys. Thanks once again.
Oh, it's always our pleasure.
Good night, Dad.
Night, Dad. Good night, Happy Dude.
Good night, everyone.
And good night, Jeremias.
Good night, everybody. Pleasure to join you. Hope I don't stand you up any more.
Yeah, you better
Maybe.
not. You better not.
And catch you all next week, and go the Mighty Blues.